This is the automation zone, and in today's tutorial we'll learn what is the init method, also called as your constructor, as well as what are your normal methods of a class. To explain this, let us look at the following example. Here I have a class of employee. I've then gone ahead and created two objects of my employee, which is employee1 and employee2. I've then gone ahead and created instance variables or object variables for both of my objects, with name as Tom, last name as Good, age as 30, and email as tomgood@automationzone.com. To make sure that my code works, I'm printing out the name of both of my objects, and you see the code works. There are few flaws if you look at this code. Flaw number 1 is to create two objects I had to write 10 lines of code. This will become way complicated in case you had to create many objects. It is going to be very confusing. Secondly, what if these 4 parameters were mandatory and one of the coder would forget to add one parameter? The code here would still work. However, it might throw an error later on during the development. So these are your two flaws. These two flaws, as well as many other flaws, can be rectified by using the init method. The init method is a method which is always called when you create an object of your class. In this case, I have created the object twice, one for employee1 and the other for employee2. Hence, in our case, the init method should be executed 2 times. To create an init method, simply create a normal function inside of your class with the name init. It cannot have any other name, and by default it takes at least one parameter. The parameter by default takes the name as self. You can have any other name, but I prefer to keep it self so others can understand. Now to prove that is called all the time, we'll go ahead and print hello world. Now, as I said before, I have created two objects, hence it's printed 2 times. Now what is this self parameter? We have a proper detailed video of this self parameter in our next tutorial, but for now understand this. Self parameter is the object itself. So in our case, when we are creating the object called employee1, self here is employee1. And when we are creating the object employee2, self here is employee2. In this logic, we'll do one small thing. We'll take this piece of code right here and we'll paste it inside of our init function. Now what we'll do is, since self here becomes employee1 when we are creating the object of employee1, I can just replace employee1 with self, right? So now look at this. When I'm creating the object employee1, employee self here is employee1. Hence this is employee1.name. Last name is employee1.lastname. Now what I can do is I can add parameters to my function. That can be as your name, your last name, your age, and your email. Right? Now remember one thing. Since self is a mandatory parameter, it is not counted. Hence, the first parameter here is name, second last name, age, and email. I can pass these 4 parameters when I'm creating my object. So now name over here is going to be Tom. So the last name as Good, age as 30, and email as tomgood. In the same way, I can create for my other object as well. Let me do this pretty quick. Let me explain this code again. When I'm creating the object of employee1, employee1 self here becomes employee1. Hence this is employee1.name is Tom, which is exactly same as this. Hence this becomes my instance variable called Tom. In the same way, this is done for both employee1 and employee2. When I'm creating an object of employee2, self here becomes employee2, hence this becomes employee2.name. Okay, now what I'll do is I'm going to pass these variables right here. Why? Because I'm passing it from right here. So employee one, when I'm creating employee one, I'm passing Tom. Tom is passed to name and name becomes Tom right here. And that's how I am creating all of this code directly in my init function itself. And I have replaced my 10 lines of code with just 2 lines of code. That's our first advantage. Advantage number 2. What if somebody would forget to add a parameter? It would not work. It would throw you an error that you have an argument called email which is missing. This is how the init function works, and that is the basis of your self method or your self parameter. Now we have learned what the init method is. Now we learn what your normal methods are. Now what are functions? If I create a function outside of your class, such as print details, I would create in this particular order, right? Print hello world. But if I create this exact same function inside of my class, this basically becomes your method. And when you create a method, one thing is mandatory: it should have at least one parameter, and that parameter is parameter self. Now why is this helpful? This is helpful because of this reason. What if your boss would tell you, hey, go ahead and print the details of all of my employees? You would have to write a code like this. Let me remove this line. Print, and you would create a string such that your name, your last name, followed by your age, and then your email dot format, and then you would give the parameters, which is employee1 dot name. Your second parameter has employee1 dot last name. The third parameter has employee1 dot age, and lastly employee1 dot email. Let me run this. You see that the details are printed below. Tom Good, age 30, and email as tomgood@automationzone.com. Now imagine printing this for all of my objects. That's pretty confusing. Now what I can do is I can take this same piece of code and paste it inside of my method. Remember, functions inside of a class are methods, right? And we can take advantage of this self variable. Remember, what is self variable? Self variable is the object itself. Hence, when I'm using the object, let's say object employee1, and using the object employee1, if I'm calling the function called print details, what's happening? The self parameter here becomes the object itself. Hence, I can replace all of my objects with self. So employee1.print details, employee1 is passed to self, self becomes employee1, all of this becomes employee1, and the exact same thing is printed below. Now in this case, I don't need to write the same logic for all of my objects. It happens automatically. Let me run this. Here we go. If you have any questions with regards to what is init method or your constructor, as well as what are your normal methods, comment below. If I cannot answer your questions, I'll make a tutorial for you. If you like the series, do subscribe and like and share my channel. Thank you.